Jumping right into the arrival helipad, we are not going to waste any time getting to work, apparently. Hello everyone, welcome to part 2, how to build Jurassic Park from the movie. Before we actually get into any of the park building, I want to say thank you to everyone. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. The channel had a bit of an uptick, so lots of views, a lot of new people, and I am very grateful for all of it, for all of you. Anywho, back to the park building. I apologize for my lack of explanation in the first video. I was very busy between work and a bunch of other stuff, so I will do my best to explain in this one. I'm all about second chances. So really, the biggest problem I had with making this was a lack of reference. There are a ton of maps out there. They all say something different. And the movie, as good as it is, gives almost no indication as to the layout of the park, except for the computer screen that I showed in the first video when the power's going out. So I had to wing it on a lot of things. I made a few mistakes in the first video. They will be corrected by the end of this one. But just a couple things. The ledge that the tour road goes by in the Brachiosaurus and Parasaurolophus enclosure, that I did. It was a better alternative to hiding the tour road with just trees, in my opinion. I needed something to explain why they couldn't see the tour road, why we couldn't see the tour road in the movie during that scene. So I made that ledge. Gallimimus Valley, well, not Gallimimus Valley, that's Jurassic World. The Gallimimus Enclosure is way too small. Some of the maps had the Gallimimus in the same enclosure as the Brachiosaurus and Parasaurolophus. I didn't want to do that, but based on where most of the maps located the stampede, that's where I put them, and that enclosure, it sucks. I'm unhappy about it. But what are you gonna do? So this is, in the movie, this is where we see the Brachiosaurus. I based this lake off of the Nublar 93 map from the first game. That map was pretty cool, but it also, based on the maps that I was using and found, that map doesn't make any sense either, because it just doesn't. It's pretty good to me. Just gonna add some more trees here. So that ledge is the one I'm talking about. Next is the Dilophosaurus Enclosure. Again, most of the maps that are out there say that there are about 4 Dilophosaurus Enclosures, possibly 5. Oh no. See, the tour vehicles are going the wrong way. One of the mistakes from the first video. But anyhow, Nobody needs that many Dilophosaurus in the park. Unless it's your favorite dinosaur, knock yourselves out. So I thought 2 was appropriate. I ended up putting another enclosure on the other side of the map because, again, with the reference, I needed a place to put the East Dock sign. And based on where I put it, it would make sense for a Dilophosaurus enclosure. So that'll be coming further in the video, later in the video. It's about to get real fast here. So all I'm doing is placing plants. That's why it's called a speed build. One of my buddies who subscribed says he gets dizzy when I go into the super fast spinning everything. My apologies, Justin. So I took some liberties rather, with the enclosures because I guess we kind of see a lot of it in the movie, but not enough to make it accurate, so I just did whatever. I like to use placeable trees in the enclosures because you can actually see the dinosaurs for the most part. If you just use the forest brushes, it adds high grass, and once the dinosaurs go into that and or the trees, you can't see them. What is the point of that? So that's my logic when I make enclosures and why I place so many placeable trees. On this, I figure the Brachiosaurus and Parasaurolophus will wander over here, so that way the tour vehicles can actually see them. I realized after the fact that they wouldn't be able to see over that ledge, but I didn't want to get rid of it, so it looks good. So that is actually, I did my best. That was the tree that Tim and the car fall into. This tank is going to... That was rubbish. I can't stand crooked fences, so I'm just going to move that up. It's going to represent the drain that Grant tells Lex to hide in while he gets Tim out of the tree. We didn't really have anything else available. It's circular. It works. And then I was looking at the picture when the tour vehicle is going by the Dilophosaurus Enclosure sign. Realized I could get it pretty darn close, so that's what I'm doing here. And that also reminds me, at the end of the video, I put in most of the reference shots from the movie, and I did a side-by-side comparison with how everything turned out. Most of them are pretty close. I like it, and hopefully so do you. So this needed to be moved back. Also, I lowered the terrain there because there's a moat. That's how the car, when the T-Rex pushes it off, it actually falls down the moat and into the tree. So, based on where the cars were and everything, I tried to get the bathroom as close as possible to where it would have been. But these maps are very small. Even though this is one of the biggest maps in the game, still pretty small. So we have to do our best with what we are given. And I decided to raise the terrain here because technically there is a tunnel here. We don't have anything like a tunnel in the game, so I'm using trees and mountains to mimic that. It's the best I got. If anybody has any other ideas, better ideas, leave a comment. So this is going to be the Triceratops Enclosure. I wanted to use all of the enclosure signs since we actually do have them, but even though it doesn't make sense to place it at this end of the enclosure, Grant didn't know what was out in the field when they were driving by, which is why he exited the vehicle to go see. So having the sign further up in the enclosure wouldn't have made sense. And here is one big pile of shit. 3 big piles of shit. Probably too big. And that little dirt patch next to it is going to be where the sick Triceratops was. For simplicity's sake, I turned off the dinosaurs' need for food and water and comfort. That's why I'm not placing any water in the enclosures except for like what we saw in the movie. This enclosure, I forget what the map said, probably another Dilophosaurus one, but I'm just sprucing it up a bit. Obviously, feel free to put whatever dinosaurs in there. According to the maps, there were other dinosaurs planned. They were just not in the movie. I'm trying to make a movie-accurate park, and there's only 6 species, I think. Six is right. So something else that I wanted to bring up to everyone. See, Gallimimus Enclosure, too small. Excuse my tediousness here, but I wanted to get the fallen log that Grant and the kids hide by. So the only way to get fallen logs in this game is to use the ground leaf brush and try to delete everything around it. I didn't want weeds because, or tall grass because there is none in the movie. Now we have the gate, which, just my personal preference, kind of going along with the movie. I wanted to hide the fence as much as possible, so that's what I'm doing here. But something else that I wanted to bring up with everyone, I love it when you comment. I want to know your opinions. I want to hear what you guys want to see in the future. I just want to hear from you. So, comment away. And this, I will admit, I stole from Evo Evolution Square. Sorry, Evo. So I don't really want any dead logs in here. So if you I play on console, I'm sure it's the same with the mouse click. If you just click once, it doesn't spawn everything all at once as far as foliage goes. So it is possible to get individual trees here and there based on the brush. It's a pain. I don't know if that's even useful. I feel kind of like I'm just rambling. I apologize. So not much here. I went back and looked at the picture, realized that it was really just sand, so I just got rid of most of the dirt there. The maintenance shed. Chain link fence around it. We don't have a chain link fence, so I'm using these barriers. Pretty shrouded by trees. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to go through and cover the path as best I can. You need the path in order for the tour vehicles to go on the tour. But that's really all you need, so I'm going to try and hide it as best I can, like it doesn't exist. And then, for planning later on in the video, I need to delete a bunch of those trees to place the temporary hatcheries so that we can have some frickin' dinosaurs in the park. And I had no idea where to put the Gallimimus Enclosure sign. That looked like a good spot. That looked like a good spot. Would have been nice to have some reference, but you know. Again, didn't really know where to put this. I really struggled with it. That looked decent. That didn't make much sense to me. But that did. So I put it there. And then this is what I was talking about. This enclosure looks lovely for more Dilophosaurus. they break out of that fence right there and eat Nedry somewhere in this area. Sounded good to me. And then this would be the actual emergency bunker as opposed to the maintenance shed. For the longest time I thought they were the same thing, but every map has two separate buildings. Well, here we go with the dinosaurs. For the most part, if the dinosaur had a 1993 skin, that is what I chose, except for the Gallimimus, because technically the 93 skin is a juvenile and the entire flock was not juveniles. So, and I really like the Biosyn Dilophosaurus. Closest, obviously it's in the movie, so that is a movie skin for it. That's why I chose it. And I like some variation, since the Gallimimus herd, flock, whatever, has quite a few dinosaurs. I wanted to change it up a bit. And then the Parasaurolophus, that skin I got as close as I could. I wish they would just add it to the game because it looks really cool. But they won't. And then numbers, I just chose what I thought was appropriate. Obviously, there's one T-Rex. I counted in the picture, there's like 12 Parasaurolophus. We know there's 3 Brachiosaurs. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there are more. Because when Grant and the kids climb up in the tree, I think there's like 5 or 6 there. So there's got to be more somewhere. Maybe in the same enclosure. I don't know. At this point, it is what it is. I can't go back and add more to show you. That is up to you, viewers. Oh. The movie already happened, apparently. Thought I put the T-Rex in its enclosure. See, another one of those mistakes. I think the velociraptors are the final dinosaurs that needed to be placed. Final species. Once these are out of the way, rebuild the mountain, add some trees, hide that path, get rid of that grass. Beautiful. So I will be doing an actual tour video for the park. If anybody has a preference as far as if they want to actually ride the tour, or if they just want like capture mode, first person, whatever, leave a comment, let me know. We'll see where it goes. So I leave you with the side-by-side comparisons. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, found it helpful. And I will talk to you next time.